everyone, it's Paula here for this week's Pocket Parenting. In this episode, I give you 5 tips on how to have a fun, connected, and relaxing summer because the kids are feeling the jitters right now. We are at the end of the school year, and there are a lot of challenges coming up with this transition from having a regular school schedule into summer schedule, having to navigate work and childcare. What are the activities that the kids are going to be doing? And really, what a lot of parents also worry about is, are they going to have the time for themselves? Because now, obviously, kids are going to be home and they are requiring more time and attention. So it can feel quite stressful and overwhelming and challenging. And this is why I'm here to give you these 5 tips so that you can prepare ahead of time. Because imagine if you could, first of all, come from a place of get to versus have to. Usually the mindset is, oh, I have to do this and I have to remember to do this. And, we create this snowball of overwhelm every time we say that we have to do something. So my first invitation is to shift that into get to. Get to is a choice. There's a freedom in that. Like get to is forward moving, like there's a drive forward versus have to is like, oh, you're pushing something forward versus driving forward. So what if you could come from this mindset of I get to? What if you could expand the belief of what you are capable of? Sometimes what's really in the way of enjoying things, even if there's abundance of things going on, is our own limited capacity that we can't handle it or that we are not going to get it quite right. So there could be certain perfectionism there that you can absolutely let go of that because perfectionism is a joy killer, and you get to have a lot of fun this summer. So things do not have to be perfect. And what if you could be present? What if you could be fully present with your child, really putting those phones and electronics down, connect with them, play with them, share moments, and really create those deep level of connection. So connection sometimes we think is just, oh, we are in the same room, we're spending time together. But it's really what really counts for kids, what really fills their cup is that emotional connection when they feel seen and heard. So imagine what would open up as a possibility after that. And one final thing, like, what if you could let go of that need to entertain? I've noticed that a lot of parents have this need to entertain their kids, which is exhausting, right? It's super exhausting. It's not your job to entertain the kids. It's actually really good for the kids when they are able to get creative, get a little bored, and then figure things out. So that is my vision. That's my mindset tools here up front of these episodes is like letting go of this language of have to, shifting that into a get to, expanding the belief of what you're capable of, and not having to make things perfect, being present and letting go of entertaining your child. Now, if you have not heard these parenting episodes before, I am releasing these every week. These are weekly audio guide coaching for you that will empower you to shift out of not knowing and confusion by giving you some innovative ideas and fresh perspectives to your most difficult parenting debacles so that you can parent with ease, joy, and confidence. Now, let me go back to my 5 tips. I was really thinking about this today because I was thinking back into my childhood. So I grew up in Finland, and none of these challenges that families are experiencing right now were not really there. Maybe you can think back to your own childhood because, at least in Finland, if everything was quite safe, quite free, I would just go, leave in the morning and go into the woods, play with my friends. I would just tell my mom, I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'll be back at this time, and then that was it. And it was such a beautiful time, that summertime, to have that freedom to play and to be and to go with that moment and be with the moment and get really creative. So, my first tip is to make sure that you don't overschedule things, because it's actually really, really important and supportive of the kids' development if they have lots of free time, lots of free play, every single day when it's unstructured. So kids really should be think about having at least 3 to 4 hours of free, unstructured playtime. That does not include screen time. This is not counted in the 3 to 4 hours, but at least kind of shooting for that as a goal. And this is tremendously beneficial for their overall development, physically, mentally, socially, and all around when they have that freedom to do that. So, if their schedules are really too booked, then they are not going to be able to have that free play time. So, make sure that you do not overbook things. That's my tip number one. Okay. And what's really cool about this free play also, it develops their sense of mastery and confidence in their skills and problem solving. I could just kind of keep going on about that. But there's really absolutely fantastic benefits for child's development in having that free time. So don't overschedule. Now, my tip number two is always, always, always support what your child wants to do. So make it a cooperation, have some discussions, do some research together with the older kiddos about different camps and activities, programs that might be going on. This is a really an opportunity for you to support the child feeling important, support them feeling that they have some self determination, a sense of agency in their lives. They have control over their lives, their schedule, and what they are doing. So, really rely on that and what your child wants to do. Don't make it about yourself and just schedule things that you think that your child might want to do or would like. Or sometimes there's some other reasons why parents might want to put kids in some activities that the child doesn't even like, because otherwise it just creates more friction, stress, and resistance. So my invitation really is to listen to the child and do what they want to do and get them signed up with the kinds of programs and things that they really enjoy. That's going to really fill their cup this summer and make them super, super happy and listened to. So that's my tip number two. Tip number three is actually something that I recommend that you do in the beginning of the summer. So maybe the first week when school is over. Um, this week is the last week, at least here in San Diego Unified School District. So creating a vision for the summer together. Like I would definitely do it like Monday or something like that next week. Because now, like, how about you? Everybody comes together, you have a fun family meeting, you have some foods and snacks, maybe you cook together, you explain that we're going to have the most amazing fun and playful summer. But we got to work together to create that, to come up with an idea, come up with a roadmap. How are we going to have this amazing fun summer? And everybody's opinion counts. So, really creating that family vision, like how do you want your summer to go? As you know, and if you've been really listening to me speak about these things, everything begins with the intention. Everything begins with having a vision. Without a vision, now we're just kind of drifting here and there and being confused, and there's just a lot of like being on a rocking horse that's not moving anywhere, a lot of exhaustion. So having that vision can really ground yourself and your family on what do we want to create together as a family. And it teaches also the children really beautiful skill of living a vision-driven life. So just make it fun. Have a big poster, have magazines that the younger kids can kind of cut things out, have some markers and some paint, Sharpies for the older kids where they can like create almost this like vision board is sometimes super fun to create. And posting that for the summer, and then at the end of the summer noticing like, yay, you know what, we did all that. So some of the questions, here's some questions to guide you in creating that family vision for the summer. Just simple things like, okay, what do we want to do? Like, what are the kinds of activities that we want to do as a family? And what kind of experiences what we want to be able to have? Like, we want to be adventurous, we want to be playful, we want to have fun, we want to experience relaxation, we want to feel connected to each other. So things like that, okay? And then also, you could ask question like, how do you want to relate to each other? Like, how do we want the relationship between each of us to be? So that would be things like, being kind, being supportive, listening, collaborating, communicating, and things like that. And again, you can just kind of make it your own. Put whatever you feel is important to the family as a whole, and everybody should be involved in this process. So everybody like that creates this commitment to the vision because it's something you created as a family, and everybody contributed to it, and there really shouldn't be anything in it that somebody doesn't agree with. So we get to have an alignment, which means everybody agrees on the things that are being put on the vision board. So just a fun activity to kick off the summer. Now, the final tip is around new routine and structure. Okay. So already starting to think, and if you haven't already, how is this new routine as like bedtime? I'm talking about bedtime. What's a time to start, shutting screens, brushing teeth, and all these kinds of things. Again, depending on the ages of your children, it's gonna look a little different. But things do change. The routine does change in the summertime. It's okay to have more flexibility in it, and it's also important to keep some structure. So sometimes, like I was just working with the family earlier this week, bedtime is going to be starting a little later, and also the screen time rules are going to look a little different. So making sure that tip number 4 is making sure that you plan for the new routine. And if you are co-parenting, and if you are in a household with two parents, make sure that you communicate about this. Make sure that you are in alignment and agreement. These really don't get to be unilateral decisions that creates resentment and friction and bitterness and all these kinds of things. So brainstorm together, and really essentially you might also, if you just kind of do it all by yourself, you might also be not utilizing some ideas and resources that you have right there. So my first invitation would be for the parents to talk, to come up with an agreement if you are divorced or separated and the children are in different households, if you have good communication with the other parent. Again, my recommendation would be to try to have the schedules as close to like as similar as possible. And I understand that sometimes that is not possible, and it's always, always, always a good idea to give it a go and give it an effort, and at least uh, making a commitment to creating that. Okay. And then the final one is really around that screen time structure. So there might be some things that are changing in terms of how many hours of screen time is allowed. What are the times for screen time? I would make really clear rules. So it's not just like, oh, you have 2 hours of screen time a day, and then they can do it kind of whenever. But like, give that block, like I said in the beginning of this episode, that block of 3 to 4 hours of free play, which doesn't include screen time. So make sure that whatever the screen time changes are, that there are clear rules. Use your parental controls if you need to. Talk about it, stick to it, post the rules on the refrigerator, and also communicate all that to your child, and listen to your child. It's okay to negotiate with them a little bit. It's okay to like hear what they have to say, and be flexible with that, really making them feel like you are listening, you are willing to be flexible. And then there's certain boundaries and certain limits that are just going to be there regardless. And if that happens and the child might be very upset, it's okay, completely understandable. And in those cases, you just get to step into deep, 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 deep compassion, deep understanding, deep validation, instead of trying to rationalize or come from this place of, well, I'm the parent, so that's just how it's going to be. So, yes, you are keeping your boundary, and what you say is standing, and you can do it in a very loving and kind way. Okay, those are my 5 tips. I think that was five tips to have and create a fun and connected and relaxing summer. So let me review them. Don't overschedule. Make sure the kiddos have enough free time. Listen to the kids and make sure that whatever activities that you sign them up for is something that they really love and enjoy, feel passionate about, and they can't wait to go do those things. If your child is not sure, then rumble with it. Then brainstorm together, figure out. Maybe they want to try a couple different things. It's okay if they say that they want to try something and they try something and then they say, no, I don't want to do that. So, of course, with certain programs and things, you might want to see if there's any kind of way you might get some money back or something like that if your child doesn't finish the thing. And then number 3 was creating that beautiful family vision, having a vision party, making it fun with arts and crafts and colors and stickers and cutouts from magazines and posting that on the wall, making sure that your new routine in terms of bedtime and dinner times and things like that is agreed upon between the parents, and that is clearly communicated to the children and also posted somewhere. Children are very concrete, so they want to kind of see it. With younger children, you can use pictures. Older children, you can write things out. And then finally, the screen time structure. So whatever might be changing or shifting around to screen time, making sure that you are very clear about it. Very, very clear, and repeating it a lot. Now, any shift or change that's going to happen, there's going to be some resistance, totally normal. Just stick to it, and then you are really going to be able to have that fun summer instead of engaging in those power struggles all the time. So that's all I have for you this week. I am very excited for the summer. I can't wait to see kids being out and about, and for you to really let loose, let go, like I said in the beginning of this episode, letting go of that perfectionism, letting go of the need to entertain, make it a get to and just being present, get silly with the kids, get down on the floor and play with them and forget for a moment, even if it's brief moments here and there, forgetting the duties and the responsibilities and the stress that is happening in your life as well. They will be there. Things will be there. The to do list will be there. And you can just pick up where you left off after some time of fun and connection with your children. Okay, that is all I have for you this week. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. My email is paula@transformationalparent.com, paula@transformationalparent.com, and connect with me. There's all sorts of different ways. You can check out my Facebook, Paula at Transformational Parent. My Instagram is transformational underscore parent. And of course, my website is transformationalparent.com. Okay. I am looking forward to connecting with you in one of those places. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Bye now.